the series after show with your girl Chae Jones, but I could not do this alone. I have my favorite person, Mr. Jeff Williams Jr. How you feeling?
Hey, thank you for the warm welcome as always. Love to be here. And I'm just excited to talk about High School Musical, the series, because just like the genre, there's a lot of drama to talk about.
That is definitely true. But we're going to start off talking about episode 3 right now. Guys, we're going to be covering episodes 3 and 4 today. So, first of all, episode 3 was amazing because obviously love is in the air. It is Valentine's Day amongst our Wildcats. And I think we have to talk about, for me, one of two of the bigger things that happened in this episode. I want to start off with Ashlyn and Big Red. Now, obviously, they are starting the process of rehearsals for becoming these characters, doing Beauty and the Beast, which is one of the most epic pieces in the entire show. Because it's everybody's
This
favorite
meeting
moment.
is being recorded.
That's me. Sorry, I didn't hear that part. I could have muted myself. Keep going.
Okay, cool.
All good.
I'm like half tempted just to, it's okay. So hey guys, so we're gonna keep continuing because that's how we do here. It's all great.
It's live.
It's live. This is how you know it's live, right? This moment in and
Exactly.
of itself. But we have Big Red and Ashlyn, and they are, besides obviously Nikki, Ricky, and Nini, are one of the staple couples that we've seen throughout the show so far. And Ashlyn is trying to come to terms with Belle, because obviously we've all seen the animation, like she says in this episode, when she doesn't see herself as Belle. She can't imagine the fact that she is this role. And I think for me, watching this episode, watching someone I can identify with in that moment, because especially in theater, certain roles are written for certain characters, and they're supposed to be, brunette, beautiful, skinny, and when we got a little curve, sometimes we don't match. So I love the fact that, one, that Ashlyn was cast as Belle, and two, also she broached this topic. Especially in theater, this is a big topic to take on yourself and to realize that you are meant for a role, even if you didn't look like that role, like the role is supposed to be, like, or written. Let me quote unquote how it's supposed to be written. And
Mm-hmm.
her journey to acceptance, and obviously Big Red's attempts to help her get through that. How did you feel when you were watching that?
No, I became even more of a fan of Big Red because he's continued to be right by Ashton's side, even when she didn't even know she needed him, even when she really didn't want him there in the sense of like vocally saying she didn't want him there, but really she deep down she wanted someone to be there. But yeah, I love their relationship, and I'm excited to see where it's growing to, that they're actually like talking about it and everything now, and then like just more of the communication, because there's a lot. This show, I mean, it's high school. It's high school. I gotta keep reminding myself, but the lack of communication in this show is just crazy. But I'm glad they're talking.
Definitely, especially when you're in a relationship and the person you're with is just, you're perfect the way you are, and the reason you're perfect for this role is because of that. And it's nice to like have that reminder. Like sometimes, especially females in theater, we forget sometimes that we don't look like the typecast of what certain beautiful roles or princesses are supposed to look like, because we grew up on princesses who are, a certain size. So watching her go through that, I don't feel comfortable in my own skin. That took me as like an actual like moment of, wow, I understand where that's coming from, why you feel that way. And then, going through all those emotions and just being, I am Belle. I have to discover how Belle looks for me and still
Hmm.
be able to do the role in my job well. So I'm ready to see how like that it's going to be for her transition wise. And I cannot wait to see her in the dress, because that is going to make it everything sing. That
Yeah,
is a key piece.
I'm not gonna dip too far into like what happens in episode 4, but I'm loving the fact that we're getting so much character development, and we're seeing the characters like grow. we're seeing them try to learn who they are, whether it's Ashlyn in this episode or EJ in general, or Carlos and Nini, Carlos and Gina in the fourth episode, where they're like kind of like, okay, you're not alone. Like you're starting to realize who you are, where you want to be, what do you want to be in high school, what do you want to be in life. Nini in general, like there's a lot of growth in this show that I wasn't really expecting, because I mean, you're getting a Disney Channel show. It's only 30 minutes. You have so many characters, but there's a lot of depth that they've showed.
Definitely, they showed a lot of depth. Haha, depth. I can say that word. I want to go over to Nini and Ricky and Gina, because that was also one of the bigger sides of this entire episode of Valentine's Day, because Nini comes back to surprise Ricky at his house, and then Ricky goes to Denver to surprise Nini, and that's where communication should have been key, from forefront, because nobody should be traveling. Okay, but cool. We're gonna make it work, and he still showed up to school. I give him props for that, because I would have stayed at home. But then that was just me. That'd have been a me decision. However, I give him props for still going to school, even if he was falling asleep, and still trying to finish out his Friday. And they make plans for her to come and see rehearsal and just see everybody again. But obviously, plans like in life go awry, because one of her moms got hurt, so she had to go to the hospital. And this is me, however. If I learned my mom was gonna be there for a while, Mom, can I go? Right? Like, you good. You got other mom here.
Now, the thing is, like,
it could have just been me though. How did you feel like between just the scene of the cancellations continuing or the changing of plans as the day goes by for Nini and Ricky?
I mean, yes, you want to be with your friends. Yes, you want to go see your boyfriend, but she also has been away from her family for a month as well. She's been away from her mom. The first night that she gets there, when her mom is hurt, you think that the best move is to leave her in the hospital? That's not.
I didn't say it was the best move. I said.
I know. I'm not saying it, but what I'm saying is that's not a good move. So it is. Yeah. You just can't. She's in a messed up situation. Ricky, he's doing a whole lot of pouting, and vocally pouting, like visually pouting. And look, you need to figure out what you want to do, dog, because you can only visually pout so much before people you gotta get over it or tell her how you feel.
Oh my gosh, that visually pout. I'm just gonna have to use that. However, also while Ricky's on the phone with Nini and she's sort of canceling again, Gina shows up out of the blue to the apartment. And on one hand, I do understand where she's coming from, because they both kind of come from, I think her parents, her mom, and her dad are also divorced, so she knows what it's like to be in that situation, then also have to constantly move, being put in new situations. And obviously this is also her first Valentine's without her mom. So she's looking for that, that kinder spirit. But baby, you were getting a little too close. You were getting just a tad too close to Ricky.
I mean,
just go.
She's not only looking for a friend in the fact that she's still new to the place. Ricky was the only person she was able to get close with. Ricky, she told Ricky stuff. Ricky told her stuff. They connected. She felt like there's something there. And her main competition is leaving, in a sense. Is at least going to be at a different school. So, yes, she is kind of being aggressive with, let me, come up to your house and, what's up? How you doing? And he oh, awkward. But, you kind of see where she's coming from. And I need someone. I just feel so bad, because it's you not telling. I mean, I don't know if he knows. I don't know if he knows at this point during Valentine's Day. He knows there's some kind of awkwardness, but either way, he needs to be upfront with her.
I mean, that entire scene, and even when he got on the phone with Nini, he was just like shush, shush, shush. That part for me was also sketchy. What you mean shush? You
Exactly. Like,
you
why is
can't you
why is
can't just
Marco
tell
brave?
Nini that Gina showed up. I mean, granted, she wasn't supposed to show up because you were supposed to come over, and it wasn't my fault. But like, what you mean shush, shush, shush? And then you walk to a different corner from where Gina was standing.
See that's why are you being secretive? What is there to be secretive about?
If
If
there's
you're
nothing
being
going on.
secretive, that means there's something to be secretive about. That means you've given me a reason to think about it. So are we really here to fault Gina, or are we really here to fault Ricky? Because you could easily say, "Oh yeah, what's up, Nini? You're on speakerphone. Gina just pulled up."
That is very true. I will give you that. And
I
then
mean,
we
if a guy wanted to be make sure there was no issues, he's like, "Hey, yeah, she's here. You're on speaker. Everything's everything." You know what I'm saying? But
that is very true. But like we have to remind ourselves they're in high school, so certain situations, how we'd handle things, and how our teenage high school selves would handle things, they don't always mesh, right? Because who
exactly.
you were in high school doesn't always be who you become when you get out.
Hmm.
So there's that.
That's facts.
And one of the bigger, I don't, not really underdogs, but more discovering their voice was Kourtney. Because
Mm-hmm.
obviously Kourtney is now Mrs. Potts, and as they were practicing Beauty and the Beast, she's more inquisitive, like more shy and quiet, and because she said the first time she sang, she blew a speaker. She doesn't know how far she can take it. But obviously, also with talking with Sebastian, I'm liking that friendship because like there seems to be a nice little, not really mother and son, but like you get the same vibe sometimes when Kourtney and Sebastian are talking, and just
Yep.
how like familiar they are with each other, and
100%.
they'll just tell each other, and like they can be honest with each other enough because Sebastian still isn't as honest as he needs to be with Carlos, which we will get
Hmm.
to in a moment because I still got to talk about that whole scene. But when Kourtney gets hired as the assistant manager at Big Red's family place, I thought that was first of all so cute, and also just like I think Big Red likes that. Like he doesn't have to be in charge; he just gets to show up and he gets to go out.
Hmm.
And Courtney's
Yeah, you don't want
obviously
to work.
very organized and structured. But then she comes up with an obstacle in the sense of Howie, the delivery boy. It was so adorable. The entire scene of Howie and Kourtney, I am just like shivving them right now because there's a lot of give and take, a lot of. I've went through like 5 assistant managers. We'll see how long you last. Like, and she's like, first of all, why are you throwing your coat over my name? Okay, did nobody ask you to just come up in here and misplace my name? That was rude. But I mean, hey, I thought the scene of them was very cute as well. How did you feel when you first met Howie?
I feel like it's a weird dynamic that she's assistant manager, but they're the same age because I was getting the brother sister vibe from it because of their dynamic. But like she's assistant manager and like the boss, but like this is her first gig or like first job, and he's like more experienced. So I just assumed there was an age difference. But I mean, I can see it. I wanted this storyline for Courtney to be about her finding herself and being a leader and everything and standing up for herself. But if this storyline is about her finding love, I mean, at least we get some more Courtney. So I mean, I'm down with it.
I mean, why can't it be both? Why can't she find her voice and find a little love along the way? Who says she, like, as a woman, who says she can't have both?
True, true. I mean, you can have both. I'm just saying, if their storyline is one, that's the one I thought it was.
I mean, we still have yet to see. Because with the help of Sebastian, Courtney finds her voice while doing a beautiful, oh my gosh, such a beautiful rendition of Beauty and the Beast that ended with Big Red and Ashlyn waltzing in an empty pizza place, and I just can't handle it. The cuteness of this relationship. It's so cute.
Yeah. No, I mean, I love Big Red Ashton. I love how this just escalated and like because it was like teased a little bit in season one. Now it's like Big Red is it's kind of like Big Red is in the same spot that Ricky was, where he's like nervous. What should I text this? What should I do? Like, should I give her flowers? Should I not? Should I call her? Is this too much? It's really cool to see that like they're kind of putting more focus on the not main character.
That's true. And then we also had a nice little colleague outing. I was like, what's the best word for them? The colleague outing of Miss Jenn and Miss Mazzara. However, he did get ditched because she saw Ricky's dad. And since we did not see how that scene went, I really want to know. I need to know what happened in that conversation. How do you think the conversation went? I'm really curious because she didn't come back. So, how do you think that went?
I don't think it mattered. They didn't show it to us for a reason. I don't think it mattered. I think the storyline is that Mr. M is obviously fascinated with the other teacher, with Miss Jenn. And I think that's gonna be the storyline. And I don't know. I mean, the Ricky's dad could be like the man. Like they could do well together. But like I think the long storyline is that like Mr. M is like trying to get with Jenn, with Mrs. Jenn. And I feel like it's gonna be like one of those moments like, dog, I've been here the whole time. Just open your eyes. That type of storyline. Like, I've always been here, always trying to help. I'm a science teacher. I have nothing to do with plays and stuff, but I'm here because of you. You know what I'm saying?
I can definitely see that, and I cannot wait to see the best man that wins, Miss Jenn. But we're gonna get into episode 4, the storm, because there's a big storm brewing. Nini is supposed to travel back to Denver in time for school. The cast are doing a 2-hour minimum rehearsal before the big storm comes in. However, obviously the best laid plans do not happen because when Nini shows up to surprise everyone, she has Miss Jenn take her to the bus stop, but they get stuck in one of the craziest snowstorms that has happened in Utah apparently in a while. But I thought it was really cute just the scene between Miss Jenn and Nini. First of all, the blankets, the fun size candy, and I always love how she always references the fact that she's petite because
Yep.
like I mean the best thing come in small packages. So, how did you like that scene, or how did that scene make you feel between Nini and Miss Jenn?
Miss Jenn's role in this show and in like the teacher role for those kids is so good. She plays the role so well. That it's scripted for her so well. She really caters to each kid and what they need, whether it's just like kind of managing Carlos and like steering him in the right direction, or literally just being a voice or like a place to vent for Nini, or a kind of motivational force for Kourtney. She's always been there in the right sense. So I love the character. I love the what she does for other people in her role, and it was cool because like in this episode, she was asked like, when did your dreams change? And to be honest, I don't think like how I read it is that I don't think they ever have. They kind of evolved. She learned what she loved. Like she learned that she loved something else as well. But like to think back at like when did your love change and you want to be a teacher? It's like I've always wanted. She always wanted to be on she always wanted to be on Broadway. Like it doesn't just like up and switch. At least I don't think it does. Because if you ask me today, I still want to be in the NBA. But like, let's be realistic.
I mean, what you said was very true. Like the dream didn't so much change as it evolved into something else that gives me the same passion or love that I have for the dream I wanted. And if the one dream that you wanted doesn't somehow come to fruition, luckily or hopefully you get to find something that is either in the same genre that you can do the most good at. Because especially if you wanted to be on Broadway, it's not always about just being well. Like I think you need to do good at something. Like if you end up not doing Broadway, do good with that talent that you crafted and you spent hours upon hours perfecting. And I loved the story because first of all, the whole girl barfing and all you saw was "Let It Go." That's a classic line. We're gonna stay right there real quick. But like you said, it's not so much always that you you didn't want to give up on your dream. It's that either you it's not even you didn't get a chance to reach your dream. It's that just there's something else that showed you a way to another direction
Hmm.
that could even be better. Like sometimes the dream we want and the dream that for us, they don't always go together. I mean, hopefully they are, because that's what dreams are for. Like we're meant to dream so many things and imagine magical things happening in our lives. But hopefully, one dream can breed into another, and the love that you have for both come together.
Yeah.
So I love the entireness of that conversation, and I hope a lot of kids who are watching that episode particularly really take that to heart. Because obviously Nini's not the only one who's feeling that way. It was also EJ. EJ didn't get into Duke. And I love the fact that Miss Mazar came through and talked to him about that. And it's just like, dude, you check a lot of boxes, but college is a lot more competitive now than it was when me and you were going to college.
Hmm.
Like, it's not about checking boxes anymore sometimes. It's about, like, that further area.
Yeah.
And he said, like, my grandparents met at Duke. My parents met at grad. And I was just, in my mind, I was thinking, I was like, well, if you don't get in for Duke now, maybe you can get in for grad. Like, there's nothing to stop you from maybe getting into Duke later.
Yep.
But right now, it's not a feasible action. And obviously, Mr. M wanted to go to Caltech. He still trying to figure out how the half came in. How do you half an entry? Four and
Oh,
a half times.
he was applying and then like gave up, so he did half probably. Trust me, I've applied for enough positions and schools to like, you know what, they are asking for too much. I'm not filling out the rest of this application. That's a half right there.
So he did 4.5 times, and he didn't get in. And it's true, sometimes even though we didn't get the dream we want, like, it doesn't hurt so much when time passes.
Yep, 100%.
Like, you'll still want it, but the hurt isn't as fresh anymore.
Yeah, there's two things that kind of reminded me about. One is the fact that I got waitlisted for Ball State until a week after I graduated from high school, and that was my number one school. That's the school I ended up going to. But like it was where I wanted to go. My friends were going. It was right for my major and everything. And then to be like waitlisted, and then I even got a letter that said that I wasn't accepted on accident sent to my house. So it was like I was going through the emotions of getting a no and then being told that I kind of relate to EJ because having a goal, having a passion, having a plan, and then be up and kind of just like, nope, you didn't get the cut. It's like, well, then what in the hell am I going to do next? And then on the same token, it's like, all right, and another thing it reminded me of is me not making a basketball team when I moved to Indiana in 8th grade. I didn't make the basketball team, so I needed something else to do, and I decided to be in a play that year, and I was in Greece. That opened my eyes to entertainment world, to video production, to acting. So it opened my eyes to another love that I have because, like I said, I would have stayed. I need to be an NBA player, and if I don't do that, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing after. Now I do because I found another love. I found another passion.
Yeah, and what I love about that, like you said, like you'll find another passion. Like it might not be in the same field or it might not be what you thought, but you'll love it just the same. You'll fight for it just the same. You'll want to like share that with other people just the same. And I'm loving so much about this season is they're really opening more like not just opening more eyes, but also just showing kids there can be more than one option for you. Like one option that your parents even want for you. Because like Jen said, like just because your boyfriend or your family or your everybody else wants this for you, if you don't want it and you're not happy, it's kind of meaningless.
100%.
At the end of the day, it's gonna be meaningless because the dreams you thought you wanted, and even if you finally do reach them, but they're hollow, then I reached here, I got here, but it's not what I was expecting, and I'm not. This isn't the same feeling I was hoping for. I wanted to get away, but I'm away. I want to just go back home and curl in my bed. So I'm loving really that they're really showing those levels and showing that it's okay. It's okay to either let go of a dream or find a new one. Because even if you let go of one dream, somehow another one pops up when you were not expecting it. And I think that's like one of the biggest themes of this episode alone. Like you'll find your dreams whether you least expect it, whether it's not what you wanted or what you didn't think you wanted. And I love that so much. But obviously, like you said, there's drama. There's a lot of drama because the big dance number of Beat Our Guest, which is a very big staple of what Beauty and the Beast is, and is one of the bigger numbers that will have a lot of moving parts. And you have your choreographers, Carlos and Gina, and they, both are trying to take the lead without being equal. Because even if, like, somebody is co means together, no matter what. Co means we're working together for a single purpose, not for your purpose or my purpose. Because otherwise you won't reach the same destination. And the point of this is to reach the same destination, to win the Alan Menken Theater. And it was interesting watching these, like, two very strong, passionate people go head to head. However, Carlos was wrong when he was just like, I am not yelling, I am speaking passionately, because baby, you were yelling. Let's just start there.
Stop. You telling me when you heated and you talking loud and someone says you're yelling, you can go to another octane so you know you're not yelling. That's
but then I will be yelling. Because first of all, you just told me I was yelling, so now my voice goes, like you said, up an octave, then I will be yelling. Yep. I wasn't yelling before, but now I am because you just said I was.
He said in a different episode, he said, I'm gay and Hispanic. I'm going to be loud. Like, that's what he said. He told y'all earlier. What do you expect? I'm like, don't yell. It's Carlos. What you mean?
True. But, they both want such great things for the show, but they also think that neither will understand. Mm-hmm. And, like, they both had to have a conversation about that. Like, you won't understand me. How could you understand where I'm coming from? You've been in the spotlight. Well, I'm new. I'm trying to figure out who I am. Where do I fit into this school? I never had a chance to find out before. You wouldn't know what that's like. I'm gay. No one here looks like me. No one here acts like me. So they both have to come to that understanding of we have a lot more in common than we think. But we're also going to have to work together.
Yeah.
However, Gina definitely needs to talk to somebody about everything that's going on internally. All those feelings she has. I suggest Ashlyn. She'd be the best one.
Ashlyn is trying hard. She's like,
really
Gina, talk to me. Just talk to me, girl. I'm right here. And Gina's like, I gotta go. And I'm like, why? Like, why are you not telling her? But, like, she's also asking, like, in school, let's go home. Let's talk about this at the crib. Let's have, like, a girl night and powwow, and then you tell me what's good. But, I mean, she did say in Ashlyn's defense, she's like, literally, I'll take whatever. She's like, are you talking about Ricky or Nini? Or Ricky or
Carlos.
Or whoever, Carlos. And she's like, I'll take whatever. And that's honestly, like, the best response to that. When she's like, when a person's saying what's wrong, and then you're asking, like, are you talking about this or that? Like, look, I'm just here to help, so I'll take whatever. And like I feel like that was a great response, but like, it wasn't what Gina wanted to hear for sure.
Because I think in Gina's mind, she can only do that with Ricky because she's only been doing it with Ricky.
Yeah, but it's only because.
But also, you can't do that with Ricky because Ricky's also dealing with Nini being here, but then she's leaving again because. First of all, Big Red was totally wrong about sending that text. If a guy sends me a text like that, who is staying? In the comments, guys, if you're watching, let me know. If a guy sent you a text like that forever, you would have wanted it, you would appreciate it, you would swoon, and you'd come running. Let me know. But obviously, you're shaking your head like you don't believe me.
Talking about if your high school love said he wanted to be with you forever, you were like, no, I'm out.
No, I would swoon if a guy sent me that. It doesn't matter if I was in high school or not. Like, I meant, like, if a guy would have sent me a text in that way,
Yeah.
who's running? Because baby, you ain't gotta finish to send. I would have already been back. Okay, but again, obviously Gina hears that and her brain goes blank. It's just like, no, don't send that, because she wanted to hear that. She's never heard that. And now that she's heard that, she wants to be said to her. So and I'm just like, in that moment, that was a bad friend move. But I definitely understand, at least emotion-wise, where she's coming from. Doesn't make it right, but I understand.
And it's like, Ricky knows now. Ricky's not that oblivious. He knows that she has some feelings. I mean, she literally like, hey, did you send me these? Like, so like, for her to even think that there's feelings there, and you can kind of see it, and I feel even more. I feel like worse and worse for her, because like, she's putting a lot into him, and in the fact that like emotionally she's putting a lot into him. And I kind of want to circle back real quick that just to speak on like Gina and Carlos, I love that interaction that they had, because not only did they like find a connection in the fact that they feel out like they're both outsiders, but it showed people like from outside anyone watching this, you're probably more close to people than you think. There's a lot more people that probably understand how you feel than what you think. You just gotta be willing to open up and be vulnerable. That's why everybody loves Seb, because he's a person that you can feel vulnerable around, because he's so open and nice, and he's open, like he's vulnerable to you. So it's like I really love that conversation that they had.
I agree with you on that. And Seb like is very vulnerable, and you like, it's like there's certain people like you just instantly, you can tell anything without judgment. Seb always is like just one of those people. And obviously him trying to help Kourtney get a cell reception so she does not fail a test is the true statement of friendship. But baby girl, you had him on your shoulders. I give her props for that one, because if anybody was going up, it was gonna be me. But that's who I am. But I loved it and respect their friendship. And can we talk about the fact that Mr. Howie decided to make a house call through the snow just to return some flashcards? Like, it was very adorable, and I was just like, dude brought like 4 stacks of pizza and my flashcards through a snowstorm when you didn't have to leave the place.
That's a full knight in shining armor, and I was like, okay, I see you. And it led into the fact that there might be a relationship or a love interest between him and Kourtney, but
you still on the fence about it. Okay.
She's still the assistant manager, and it's weird. But to each their own. I love Kourtney having more storylines, more content around her. So I'm here for it.
And it was a lot that happened this episode, just in regards to even Ricky. Once the storm is past and over the hill, he races to the bus station to, we hoped, tell Nini how he felt for real, but he didn't do it. And I don't know how I like that a little bit more, because like once he would have done that, it would have been on her. Like it was a decision for her to stay. It had to come from her. It can't be because I'm staying for you or I'm staying for my parents. It has to be a decision that comes from you to stay. And it was just still so cute, the whole snow globe and the little mini music video.
It was cool.
However, yeah, your voice is like, nah.
I had issues with this whole. I'm going to a new school. I'm gonna go try new things. I want to be out on my own and risk it and make it. And then like 2 weeks later, it's like, you know what? I'm gonna just go back to school at my old spot. And then like, what happened with the stuff? What I'm saying is like, what happened with the storyline? I need more from that storyline of her going to the observatory. I was kind of expecting that to be a key player in this role or in this story, but it seems like she's gonna be back, and then that leads to what role is she gonna play in the show? Is she just gonna be a friend, a coordinator? Like, what role is she gonna play? you know what? And what I was thinking about, she should have just went. The conservatory should have been the other school that they were facing in this play tournament or in the play like for awards and stuff. Because I feel like adding a third school kind of just dropped the storyline, and that was a big deal at the end of last year. That was our cliffhanger, and it seemed like we're kind of just like losing the storyline. I wasn't as emotionally invested as I should have been because it didn't seem like it lasted long.
I mean, like listening to her retell about just even a simple day of just after dinner, muted Mondays, silent, like just reflection in your room.
But like, time out. When you go to a new school and you have to make new friends and have to do new things, everything is gonna sound like it's a hassle. It's a to do list. Eventually you're gonna get used to. You're gonna make new friends. You're gonna find the ways around your new city, around your new school, whatever it is, and find the loopholes and make it fun. So it's like you never really. From my thing is like you never really gave it a chance. You decided to uproot yourself and go to a different school, and your parents are working hard to pay for this and stuff, and it's like.
Yeah.
Did you give yourself a chance? And then like, are you gonna regret that you left 4 months from now?
I mean that is definitely a big question, and I definitely see where you're coming from because yeah, I think I would have at least liked to see her give it the semester, and if after the semester she wanted to come back, I'd have been cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess also depends on what they have in store for her character storyline now that she's back, because the roles have been cast. So who could she possibly be? First of all, and two, if she will have a role, or if she won't have a role, and if she won't be in the play at all, what is she gonna do now that she's back at East High? Because all of her friends are preparing for this. So that's also one of I think one of the big things they're gonna have to answer for us.
And then where does this other school come into play at? Like there's supposed to be cameos of like some other Disney stars that we've heard of joining like the cast supporting roles of High School Musical, like Asher Angel from Andy Mack and stuff, and Shazam. So it's
Yeah.
like I'm wondering like there's a lot of things that need to happen. They gotta we like I haven't seen any. Yeah, there's a lot of things that need to happen. We're in
Well,
episode.
you have to
I
be just a little bit more patient. We're definitely getting there. I know not as quickly as you would like though, Jeff, but we are definitely getting there. And I know we didn't get a chance to talk about it before real quick, but I do want to mention the Valentine's Day semi fiasco between Carlos and Seb real quick. Because Carlos got an amazing gift for Seb, and he was like, "You are not going to believe what I got you. Just wait till tonight." But had no clue what he was possibly going to get a man who could buy and sell anything he wanted. However, the gift he did end up choosing, I did love, just because of how thoughtful it was, and I would have never. It's so simple, yet it like meant everything. Like this is something we can grow together. Like it'll grow with us,
Yep.
and that was the most amazing gift. I would have if my first Valentine's together. Yes, please, sir. Let's grow together. Because that means like we're not just talking about like we're still gonna just do it for high school. We're trying to like do it past high school, and this is something that we can keep alive and nurture, and just like our relationship, we're gonna nurture and do that. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, I love their relationship. I love that Disney Plus is even not allowing it. Sounds weird because of the day and age that we're in. I said that they're showcasing it because, or yeah, that is even a part of this because Disney is people fault for representation so much. So it's like to see people represented in every form and fashion in this show, and especially in this relationship. I love to see it. So that's cool. And then like it's real when you're around people that have a lot of stuff. If you have rich friends, it's like what the hell do you get them for Christmas? What do you get them for birthdays or whatever? So Seb going the more thoughtful route is totally Seb, and it's the best route to go because like I'm the same. I'm the same. Right. You can give me. You can pay like a lot of money or whatever. But like, if you give me a thoughtful gift, that's what means more.
Definitely agree with you. I mean, once in a while, get a girl some jewelry, but like more times than not, like let's or not even. It's not even jewelry for me because I don't wear it like that. Like I'm not a. I'll take it though, and I'll find somewhere to put it. It'll get used once in a while. But I rather do like an experience, like something that we can do together, that we can tell, our future friends about. This is what we did. Like something that is meant for a couple, something we can do together, but also helps your relationship grow at the same time. Like I want an experience. I don't just want something you can buy me in a store, because that means you don't know me that well.
100%.
I'll take it, but thank you. It's not exactly what I wanted, but thank you so much. Doing it well. So before we get out of here, guys, we have one of my favorite things to do, because we're gonna name our Wildcat MVP, and we don't have the music. We're gonna pretend Jeff's gonna do his dance. Now,
Yep.
Jeff, who was your
Yeah.
MVP?
Both episodes.
Both episodes.
I'm going with Miss Jenn. She was and always is the MVP. Always being there for whoever, whenever, however. And like whether it's just like literally driving Nini to the bus station so she can give her a talk and check in on her, or being there to talk to Kourtney and kind of motivate her to find her own voice and step out and be a role in the next play. She's always there to be there for someone. So Miss Jenn is always gonna be my MVP.
I love that. For me, episode 3, I'm gonna say Kourtney and Sebastian. One, because Kourtney, just her rendition deserved an MVP status for me of Beauty and the Beast. I was just like so taken by it. And for Seb, because one of his friendship that he's growing with Kourtney, but also just because of the thoughtful gift and what it represents. I love that. Episode 4, however, is Mr. M. Because even though he's a science guy, he gives really good advice. Like, and it's real and it's raw and it's blunt, but like, you need that. You need somebody like that. You need a teacher like that to help you become a better person or a better student. So I really loved him the last 2 episodes, but I wanted to split up my MVPs.
I feel that Mr. M is definitely warming up on me, and I love that he's like becoming that kind of mentor role for some of the guys in the show, as Miss Jenn is for the majority of the ladies in the show.
Definitely. And guys, we've covered episodes 3 and 4. Oh my god. That means we'll be covering one episode in its entirety next Friday at the same time, closer to probably 5:15. Between 5 and 5:15, just so everybody can be covered and you guys can show up. And y'all, don't forget to leave a comment below what your favorite episode was, who your favorite character is, any questions you might have for me and Jeff. Or don't forget, you can hit us up on our social media platforms. Jeff, where can they find you if they don't already know?
If you guys want to continue the conversation, at Jeff Will Jr. on all your social media platforms.
And you guys can follow me at Real Chae Jones on all social media platforms, or ChaeJones.com if you want to catch up on what I've been doing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next Friday for another High School Musical, the series.